Today is a day that we have already sung some familiar words that commemorate all the souls who've gone on before us from this life into life everlasting. But today, it's a time for us to allow ourselves to sit with the mystery of how God is with us, how God is for us in this life and in the next. We are inextricably bound. And we're bound in ways we can't really imagine or understand. But I think deep down we know that we have this connection. This is why we seek community. We seek the presence of one another. And we come to be in a sacred space. And I also believe that deep down we know this because I think somewhere echoes in us those words that we hear on the Easter Sunday. Death has been swallowed up in victory. Death, O death, where is thy sting? O death, where is your victory? Jesus talks in the Gospel of John, also reassuring his disciples, telling them that this is the will of the one who sent me, that I shall lose none of you. I shall lose none of those that God has given me. For my Father's will is this, that everyone who looks to the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life. And I think these words are always meaningful for us because we all have lost loved ones. And in a very human way, we shy away from the pain of that loss. I, like you, have said farewell to family members, and I have to mention our dear pets who are always our companions and sources of joy. And I'm aware of that every single time I take part in a memorial or a funeral service, and every loss adds to a kind of well of grief that sits in me. But when I was meditating on the readings for All Saints and All Souls Day, I had to take into account that I hadn't really thought about it this way, but I've been in ministry for 22 years. And so I would think that well of grief might be overflowing because I've said goodbye to a lot of people. But in this case, one of my colleagues who was asking me, how do you keep that well from overflowing? And I said, well, I believe that death is not the completion of life, but it's the expansion of life. I say that in our services, that nothing can separate us from the love of our God. And where there is love, we are also never separated from the ones we love. And that gives us, and can give us in time and ease from the sorrow that fades eventually into a deep joy of remembering and gratitude for those who've been in our lives. There's been times when I've been away and a church member has passed away. And in those times I felt pretty helpless because I wasn't able to be there and pray and be with the family and bless that person on their way home. And I wasn't even able to be there to share in remembering and celebrating the life. So all I had to do was sit with the news that someone was gone and sit with it, with nothing else to do but feel a sense of loss. Sit with it and give it back to God. Because God is always at work within us and among us. And it's a good thing to trust in this. Because though God can always use us, can always use our hands, our hearts, our help, God does mysterious and wonderful things without us and despite us. Without me. So my prayer for us today that we may be able to stand still in the mystery of what God has done for us, for what God continues to do in the lives of our beloved ones who have gone before our sight but are always in God's sight. It's a mystery. It's a mystery of promise and hope that's always just that little breath away. So I invite you to today breathe in the promise of the prophet who spoke, saying that on this holy mountain, the sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. Take this time to rest in the Spirit that surrounds us. Remember, give thanks. Let the music that we share, that we sing together, not only resonate in your bodies, and if you're not a singer, read the words, because they add to what we share in our service. And may the familiar words hold you, filling you with comfort and with confidence. May our flickering candles that we light today remind you that the light of Christ is and ever shall be a light to which we can turn, and which in turn we carry along and pass along. And may you have at least a moment when you can simply stand still and receive that light. It's always there. Sometimes hidden, but it's always there.